if you have any shred of doubt of the cause and effect of Democrat policies, all you have to do is look at California. There are examples sprinkled all over our state. One great example is this recent homeless situation unfolding in our state. You're not going to believe this.
Trash strewn out for blocks along San Gabriel Boulevard. According to people who live nearby, this homeless encampment shrinks and grows, but never goes away. It's located just south of the 60 freeway and near the shops at Montebello.
The only thing I would be concerned about would be, in the past, we've had fires come about and then our homes are put in danger.
The area is part of Supervisor Hilda Solis' district, and her office told us the jurisdiction actually belongs to the Army Corps of Engineers. Her office told us, despite multiple fires and the area used repeatedly as a refuge for people experiencing homelessness, the Army Corps of Engineers was not able to proactively respond to residents' requests for assistance. Solis' office adds that back in June, approximately 22 people were moved into shelters. They're now waiting for the Corps of Engineers to remove the debris. They say the area has been designated a very high fire hazard severity zone, and the county is trying to figure out how to get money to keep it clear of encampments. Residents say all that means is they're still waiting.
Absolutely unbelievable. The LA County Board of Supervisors, folks, is one of the most well-funded local bodies in America when it comes to fixing homelessness, rubber stamping hundreds of millions for politically connected NGOs like Shangri-La Industries, and funneling even more through government agencies like LASA, which then conveniently award contracts to the same circle of service providers, in some cases even family members of the very people approving the disbursements. These entities burn through cash while delivering little measurable change. Yet, when a homeless encampment sits for years in a designated high fire hazard zone after multiple fires and repeated public safety threats, the response from Supervisor Hilda Solis is to point at the Army Corps of Engineers and shrug. This is the core failure of California's homelessness industrial complex, folks. Endless funding pipelines for unelected bureaucrats and nonprofits, but no accountability when it comes to urgent, tangible hazards. Politically, the incentives are upside down. There's more career capital in being seen as compassionate than in actually solving problems that pit public safety against ideological dogma. And culturally, it's the same paralysis we've seen in Democrat governance nationwide. A preference for symbolic gestures over direct action, even when the cost is measured in destroyed property, burned communities, and eroded trust in local institutions. Needless to say, folks, this is a disaster waiting to happen in a state that is constantly on fire, like, for example, the Canyon Fire currently unfolding, which has exploded to nearly 5,000 acres overnight with zero containment. Structures are literally blowing apart as flames rip through Ventura and Los Angeles counties. And yet California's leadership treats fire season like it's some kind of unpredictable surprise. Oh my God, it's happening again. In a state that should be the world's expert on wildfire prevention, we're left watching another preventable inferno turn homes to ash while officials focus on press conferences instead of preparedness.
We are following that breaking news. That fast-moving canyon fire near Lake Piru is forcing families to evacuate as triple-digit heat fuels those flames.
Look at the cow there. Oh, you think of the wildlife, the animals. Right here, though, is a live look at that fire from Sky Fox as it's starting to get dark out there. You can see that ring of flames around that mountain range there and that smoke. This started this afternoon. It's been going all night. They have been fighting this from the air with a lot of air support and people there on the ground as well.
And so here we are experiencing another natural disaster in California. And where is Greasy Gavin? Nowhere near the flames, of course, but front and center in his favorite role, political showman. See, while the Canyon Fire tears through thousands of acres and fire crews struggle to contain it, Gavin's too busy posturing for the cameras and picking fights with the federal government. It's the same tired script every single year. Neglect prevention, watch the state burn, then blame everybody else while pretending it's all part of some grand plan. Sure, Gavin, sure.
California is moving forward as a state that's larger than 21 state populations combined. We are not a small, isolated state. State larger than 21 populations combined. We tried to play by hire set. of standards and rules with our independent redistricting, and we believe in that. And we are not talking about eliminating that commission.
Bro, you're obsessed,
We're talking about emergency measures to respond to what's happening in Texas, and we will nullify what happens in Texas. We will pick up 5 seats with the consent of the people, and that's the difference between
this isn't consent of the people
and the approach they're taking.
Greasy Gavin's at it again, folks, thinking he's actually speaking to most reasonable Americans and not just pandering to his hyper-partisan Democrat base. Americans see right through this, folks. The man who claims California has been playing by the higher set of standards is now openly admitting he wants to manipulate the system to wipe out half the state's remaining Republican seats, not by winning the argument, but by basically redrawing the map. This isn't about consent of the people, as he's trying to frame it. It's about engineering the electorate to guarantee one-party rule in the state. And as some petty attempt at retribution because Texas dared to consider redistricting. And to be clear, folks, California already has 43 Democrat seats out of the 52, despite Republicans earning nearly 40% of the vote. And yet, that lopsided advantage still isn't enough for Gavin. This is basically the quiet part out loud, what he's saying. When Democrats talk about protecting democracy, they mean protecting their own power. Even if it means bending or rewriting the rules or completely misframing what they're doing, once they see what they actually want to do, which is just hold on to power.